Malavika, Mandal, Andrew. Welcome everyone to Collaborative Art Space second virtual exhibition. The success of online offline exhibition goes to all the young participating artists, their art teachers and school. Thank you, Colin and Karen, for accepting my invitation and joining the show. Let me introduce Meghna Pal, our moderator. She's taking care of our website designing, and the whole credit of exhibition installation goes to her. At the end, happy Teachers Day to all the teachers, and thank you. Meghna, please take.
Okay. Hello, good evening, everyone. Happy Teachers' Day. I welcome all the young artists, our special guests, artists Colin Goldberg and Karen Lafleur, Malavika, and all the other guests to the opening ceremony and exhibition walkthrough of Collaborative Art Spaces, second Young Artist Collaborative Tech Expressionist Art Exhibition, online, offline. During the creation phase of the project, two young artists aged between 12 to 18 from different schools collaborated together to create wonderful artworks exploring the theme of online, offline. Essentially, two strangers belonging to two very different environments coming together to create art that speaks to both of them. It must not have been easy, but I'm glad the young artists have emerged triumphant. Now, without delay, let's move on to the exhibition walkthrough. But before we begin exploring artworks, I would like our special guests to say a few words. I will now pass on the mic to Colin.
Thank you, Meghna, and thank you, Malavika. It's great to be here, and I'm excited to have seen this work already. I got a sneak preview of the artist's work from Malavika, and I thought it was all really exciting and interesting and very diverse. And it's really kind of cool to see this idea of techspressionism, being shared with some young artists around the world. As a parent myself, I have an 8-year-old daughter, and also my parents were both educators. I think I really, feel positive about the whole project. So just really quickly, for some background, the term techspressionism is a combination of the two words technology and expressionism, which was an art movement that started in the, I guess, maybe 19th century, early 20th century, probably early 20th century. And expressionism, although many people know about people like Jackson Pollock and abstract artists, it also included figurative work in the early days of expressionism, which was sort of like the German artists, German expressionists. So you think about artists like Edvard Munch with the Scream, that very famous painting of the screaming person. Things like that could also be considered expressionist. So now that we have computers and technology, techspressionism was a term that I came up with about 10 years ago for the title of a solo exhibition, and it was something that I used to describe my own work. I'm going to just share my screen really quickly here. So these are some recent, some details of some recent pieces of mine that I've been working on, just to give you a sense of what my work looks like. And it's abstract work, but it involves the use of the computer and technology. So with these pieces, they're works on paper. And this is sort of what I've been working on most recently, where I paint onto the paper using India ink. And then the line work, the drawing, is actually drawn on using a plotter, which is a kind of like a robotic drawing device, and you can kind of see what that looks like here. So that's kind of some of the work that I've been working on most recently. With regards to techspressionism, so the actual definition, that's the primary definition, is an artistic approach in which technology is utilized as a means to express emotional experience. And that is something that recently got included on Wiktionary, which is Wikipedia's dictionary, which I'm excited about. So it's starting to be brought into common usage as a term for art historians. And just recently, this past summer, we had our first large-scale group exhibition. You could see a lot of the artists gathered here, and that was in Southampton on Long Island in New York in the United States. So on the Techspressionism site, which is techspressionism.com, there's actually a walkthrough of the exhibition, which is a fairly large-scale show, and you can move around the space, and it's actually a three-dimensional capture of the show. So one part of the exhibition was this grid of artists, international artists, and up here on the top you can see Malavika's piece, which is, let's see, let me zoom out here. Yeah, hers is in this grid. Oop. And so what we did was, for the international artists, work was submitted digitally and then fabricated onto aluminum panels. And we were able to include work from 20 artists from 20 different countries, and there was over 90 different artists involved in the show. So it was a fairly large-scale exhibition. So Techspressionism has multiple facets. One is this idea of an artistic approach in which technology is utilized as a means to express emotional experience, which really boils down to just artists using computers to express themselves. That's a simpler way of thinking about it. And I think that, you know, the way that young people work now, it's more a term that is actually just descriptive of the way things are for a lot of young artists versus something that artists need to try to do. It's a way of talking about artwork that I think is different from calling it digital art, because to me, digital art also includes work like video games and Pixar movies and things like that, where Techspressionist work is more the work of an individual artist. So that's pretty much it. You know, the other sort of idea, other than this idea of it being an approach, is that it's actually, you know, an artistic and social movement, in the sense that it's a community of artists, and we meet online. And anyone on this call, on the Zoom call, or watching it in the recording, is more than welcome to come to techspressionism.com. And then if you look at Salon in the main menu, these are our meetups. So every 2 weeks, we actually meet on Zoom. It's open to the public, and there's different topics. So the next meetup, which is going to be on September 14th, the topic is art and physics. That's going to be organized and moderated by the artist Cynthia DiDonato, who's in this meeting right now with us. And you know, we also have an archive of these past salons, which are really interesting. So you could sort of just click on any one of them and then watch the meeting, and, you know, get a sense of seeing all the different artists that are in the community. So that's about it for me. And once again, I just wanted to thank Malavika and Meghna for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Colin, for sharing your thoughts and for talking about tech expressionism. It'll definitely make it easier for a lot of people who are new to the topic to understand it. And now I would like to pass on the mic to Karen.
Good morning, everyone here in the US, and good evening to you in India. It's a delight to be here to talk to you. I'm not going to be sharing my screen tonight because I want the artists in the exhibit to be the stars, because they definitely are the stars of this show. I'm going to be reading off to the side to keep myself on track, but realize everything I say comes from the heart. Thank you, Malavika and the Collaborative Art Space, for inviting me here today, and also for putting together this wonderful exhibition for these young artists. This is an amazing opportunity for them to challenge their creative sensibilities and to exhibit their artwork in a real-world situation. The experience will broaden their understanding of creativity, their artwork, and its process. I'd also like to thank all those who helped make the collaborative art space possible, because I'm sure there are many who have contributed support behind the scenes to make this project possible. I want to start my talk by saying all the artworks in this exhibit are a delight to see. And I say that genuinely, I really do. The sophistication in concept and artwork is something all the artists in the exhibit should be very proud of. I can tell all the artwork was deeply thought about and rendered, so congratulations to all of you. When Malavika asked me to speak during the opening on the subjects of techspressionism, digital art, and the participants' artworks in the exhibit, I began to think about what for me as an artist links all three together. And for me, that word is communication. And communication can mean a number of things. It can mean the artist communicating with the page or screen in their studio as they create artwork on their own. It can mean the artist communicating in collaboration with other artists, as we see in this exhibit today. It can mean the artwork itself communicating with an audience. And it can mean the word techspressionism, which gives us a way to communicate to others what we do as artists when we create artwork digitally. For me, art, I always have thought of art as a language. In fact, narrative is the basis for all my artworks, whether it's purely abstract or realistic, or whether the artwork is created with or without text. We all know words and images have been paired together for a long time from reading books. But today's digital technology has opened up opportunities for artists to expand the concept of what a narrative can be. And by narrative, and this, by the way, is my own definition that I use every day in my studio. I mean, a narrative is something that has a starting point, that gets to an end point or a resolution, and how the artist gets there is totally free and up to the artist. The creative freedom is something digital technology is happy to provide. It allows the artist to play with either text and image directly inside of an artwork, or an artist can play with wordless imagery, where there are no words visible in the artwork at all. And they can do this in 2D, 3D, or in a virtual space. The result is digital technology offers the artist extraordinary freedom to explore, experiment, and re-envision what a narrative can be. And I noticed this same exploration in the artworks in this exhibition. If an artwork is a single image, artwork, video, or animation without words, it still is telling me something, making me read that artwork in a particular way. And if that artwork uses words within its creative space, those words are specifically placed or spoken so that the viewer can discover a way to move through the artwork. And this means each of the artworks in this exhibition shows a genuine level of creative intent and collaboration to envision something new. So now you might ask, where does techspressionism fit in all of this? Well, for me as an artist, techspressionism gives me a word that communicates to someone else what I do as a digital artist. And having that word available to me is a huge gift. Think about the word painter. If you say, I'm a fine art painter, everyone gets that the word painter defines a way to create artwork. But back when the word came into our vocabulary hundreds of years ago, there weren't a lot of artist painters around. So everyone understood what an artist painter was when they met an artist or saw a painting. But the word digital is in such common use today, and also so commonly used to describe cell phones, computers, even kitchen appliances, that it's hard for people to find a common definition of what a digital artist means. So a word like techspressionism is a wonderful way to say, I am an artist and I use technology in my artwork to express my emotional experience. And it communicates what I do without confining me to a particular style of art. So I say again, for me, art is a language. And I say to you, all the young artists here in this exhibit, well done. This is a creative collaboration and art exhibition that you can definitely be proud of. Thank you. To all of you.
Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing your thoughts. And now we'll begin exploring the work of the young artists that they have created during the project. I will be sharing my screen so that we can explore the exhibition. Okay, so this is our exhibition on Kunstmatrix. This exhibition will also be available on our website, just as this exhibition gets over on Kunstmatrix. So I will just begin. And first we have the artworks of Abonti and Sharvari. Is either of them present here today? Okay, so they're not present here. So we'll just explore their artworks and then we can move forward. So this is the artwork created by Abonti and Sharvari. This collaborative art project was started by Abonti and is titled Post-Glorified Glitch. Then let's move on. This is Abonti's individual work titled Outgrowth. This is the collaborative project that Sharvari and Abonti have done that Sharvari had started, titled Consolation. And next we have Sharvari's individual work titled Coral. Next, we will move on to our next group, which is Arshita and Vashita. I believe they're both present here. I would like to invite them to talk about the artworks that they have created.
Yeah, so am I audible? So we made for the collaborative ones, we made, this is the first one. So Arshita was going to talk about this one.
Hi everyone, I'm Arshita. So Vashita and I did this collaborative artwork and it's called Pandemic, Happy or Sad. It's the title of the artwork. After going through the pandemic, we understood that it had both beneficial and detrimental consequences on our society. And in the artwork, we have shown that it had a significant negative impact on the youth's mental health. The pandemic's dark side is depicted in the bottom section, along with the detrimental effects it had on people, such as the difficulties they faced with online classes and all of that. The portion above depicts all the joyful events that occurred that cheered them up during the pandemic and how it aided in enhancing the social health of all of people in various aspects. We made this artwork with the positive and negative effects of COVID-19 on teenagers, basically, because that's something we can relate to. And we were able to learn a very special manner of working together. This was the first time I collaborated with someone. And thank you, Collaborative Art Space, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Should I move on to the next collaborative piece?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the second artwork which we worked collaboratively in, and it's titled Happiness Online or Offline. So basically, this artwork showcases a girl looking at her laptop screen and where she can see herself. And there's a contrast created as the girl looking is present in an offline environment, which is surrounded by people, and she's looking happy. While on the contrary, the same girl looks somewhat very sad and lonely on the laptop screen, which is the depiction of the online environment. So we wanted to bring the aspect of how the majority of teenagers and youth were affected by the pandemic in a negative way as well. Like mental health of the youth has been negatively affected in the pandemic in the aspect of like loneliness and isolation. So while an offline environment is more cheerful as there are many surrounding us, so we wanted to cater to this aspect of the effect of pandemic, which we thought well suited this topic of online and offline.
Thank you so much for talking about your collaborative pieces. These are the individual pieces that they had created. This is Arshita's piece.
Yeah, this was the individual artwork I created and I named it The Unexpected Change. This basically portrays the idea of the abrupt and unexpected transformation that occurred in teenagers, children, everyone as soon as they got digital, like got the mobile phones. Many people got addicted to it. I have showcased social isolation over here because they had to adapt to the lifestyle, which was very abrupt. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. And this is the individual art piece that Vashita created during the project.
Yeah, so in this, the artwork I titled is Grow as We Grow, because I wanted to get out the idea of how even in this pandemic, each of us has grown individually. So growing up is something which each individual goes through, whether it be physically, mentally, or spiritually. So everyone's childhood is something which is very integral to their identity. So our development as individual holds a very great significance. So in this artwork, I took myself as the focus to convey this idea of growing up and changing. So on the left, you see my younger self wearing a pink dress with cotton candy in my hand and a teddy bear near me. So this is a very stereotypical image of every young girl's childhood. And this is probably what every young girl's childhood is probably looks like. So on the other hand, on the right side, you see a grown-up version of me and a more mature version of me. I have a darker color apparel on to symbolize that maturation, and I have my dog near me. So if you look closely, you can still see a few similarities. Like instead of having a stuffed toy as a pillar of comfort, I have my pet whom I adore. So the idea of finding yourself in this journey of life where you face many obstacles is what I basically wanted to convey in my artwork.
Thank you so much, Vashita. Now we will move on to the next artworks, which are done by Atri and Shomodeep. I believe Shomodeep is not present today, but we do have Atri. So please talk about your artwork.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Utri Rai and I'm in 9th grade. About this artwork, well, lockdown was a time when most of us were stuck in our house, but it didn't stop people to explore new things, improve themselves, etc. In my artwork, we can see a girl on the left performing a dance on social media, while on the other side, she's performing on a stage in front of audience. The method of portraying creativity is different, but uh, they have the same aim.
Okay, thank you so much, Atri. And this is her individual artwork that she created during the project.
Yes, well, during the lockdown, the thing I used to miss the most was spending time with my fellow friends and missing all the fun activities we used to do together. After the reopening of my school and seeing them after such a long time and laughing, playing, talking with them like we used to, made me realize that sometimes spending time and enjoying with friends is more than anything.
Thank you so much, Atri, for sharing your thoughts. This is the second artwork that Atri and Shomodeep created. This was started by Shomodeep and is titled Together Slash Apart. And if we move on to the next piece, this is Shomodeep's individual piece titled Offline Thoughts. And next, we have the collaboration between Shreya Chandran and two artists. She has collaborated with Atri and with Divya. Can Shreya please come up and talk about her collaborative arts? I believe she's here today.
Yes, miss. Okay, so yeah, the first one, I had a slightly different approach. This artwork was also collaborated by Shomdeep, though, I believe. I've taken a slightly different approach. So here, both of the people dancing online and dancing offline are two different people, not the same person, in two different circumstances. I just wanted to portray that dancing online, dancing offline, this is an example of an activity, but I don't think an online means is any less than an offline, or offline is any less than an online. Rightly titled, if there is a will, there is a way. However you want to convey your art, I think it's valid and needs to be appreciated. Okay, so I started off with this artwork. This is actually meant to convey a meaning. So if you see in the middle, there's a focus, which is meant to depict the camera taking a photograph of this girl. The flowers and the girl's natural beauty. I hope the girl is beautiful. It's meant to convey the beauty of being in real life, enjoying nature, and how we can use online as a medium to capture these moments. So I think that is one thing that I wanted to convey. And lastly, my individual artwork. So yes, online, offline, and it may be online versus offline, but in this one, it's more like a mirror reflecting two people. They're essentially two sides of the same coin. There cannot be offline without online, online without offline. You need both of them. And I wanted this coexistence to come out more than the contrast. So that's my feeling for this artwork as well.
Thank you so much, Shreya, for talking about this. And we will now move on to the next hall where we have more artworks. So the next artist that we have is Debsingha and Rhea.
Teacher, my partner is absent, so I will be the one speaking.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
So teacher, in all three of our works, we sort of had the theme of differentiating reality with online. So in this artwork called Techno Tree, and a tree is basically something which is tangible, something which you see in real life. And in this case, we sort of taken this real tangible tree and made it into something which is online, which you can see with sort of the overlays, that those lines going in with the shapes around it, that's sort of the effect of it being online. So yes, and these two are supposed to be videos. So
yeah, 1 second. Okay, maybe my internet is not performing optimally. You can just talk about your piece.
All right. So in this piece, which was my individual work, I sort of showed these two people on a Zoom call who are talking to each other normally. And then this person on the right with the white shirt points out that there's a person behind the one person in the red shirt. And obviously he looks back and he sees no one is there. And he looks back again and sees that there's still no one there. And then he tells the other one there is someone behind him. So the point of the film, of the artwork, is sort of to show the person who he saw was actually the reflection on his computer screen. So that was the point, was to show that this person who is always on the internet, always active online, after a while, the time that he spent online makes you forget the reality, and it sort of alters your perception of reality and digital. So that was that one.
Okay.
And this one is this person, this animation, this person walks into a tablet and there's a whole barrage of information which comes his way. So basically the intention of this was to show the overload of information you get on the internet, some being good, some being bad, and how it affects people.
Okay, thank you. And the last piece is Rhea's individual artwork. This is titled Cyborg Women. And okay, let's move forward to the next exhibition. Unfortunately, a lot of the participants were unable to attend this event because of this is exam season in India. So everybody is pretty busy trying not to fail. And next we have the works by Divyam and Kashish. Are they here?
Yes, Divya.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So I'll just move forward to the first piece.
Yeah, ma'am. So this artwork was to simply show the contrast between the online and offline office, ma'am. Actually, we all know that during online we had done only the online sort of work, and we like left the enjoyment of the offline work. So we made this work. The upper part is mine, where the work, where the man is working online, and the lower part is done by my partner, Kashish.
Okay, and now we will move on to the next piece. This is the Divyam's individual piece.
Yeah, ma'am. So again, here are the contrast between the online and offline. The one is working online and the other is working offline. He's going to the office and the one is simply like doing the work on his laptop lonely, only lonely, and the other one is enjoying to go to the office.
Okay, thank you so much, Divyam. And this is the collaborative artwork that was started by Kashish and finished
Yes.
by Divyam.
So the title of this is live stream. So today, after the pandemic, with the hybrid on and offline, life is truly like a live stream. Exposure to social media and more. My art shows scenes from daily, online and offline. Live and scenes from daily and offline and online. Hence, it's called live stream.
And this is Kashish's individual work.
So in this piece, I'm trying to tell online and offline is a part of me. Here, my art shows me with the colorful word jigsaw. Jigsaw made up of patterns, shapes, and colors. Today's world is full of possibilities, full of dimensions, full of colors and thoughts. This makes up the hybrid me. The quirky element is the on and offline earrings.
Thank you so much, Kashish, and thank you to the both of you for sharing your thoughts and your processes about your artwork. We will now explore the artworks created by Granthana and Rhea. I believe one of them is present today. So let's move on. Let's move to the first piece. This is the collaborative piece that Granthana and Rhea did, titled Internet.
I think her internet has a problem, maybe. So can you please?
Yeah. Okay, I'll just move forward. This is the first piece by Granthana. This is her individual artwork titled An Online Birthday, exploring how we all celebrated our birthdays in the pandemic. Then this is the collaborative artwork, which was started by Rhea and finished by Granthana. And then this is Rhea's individual artwork, exploring the idea of online, offline. And next, we will be moving on to the works done by Laya and Sparsh, who are both unable to attend because they have exams. So I will be exploring their artwork and then we can move to other artwork. So this is the collaborative artwork, which was started by Laya and finished by Sparsh, titled My Phone, My One and Only, which is a feeling we have all deeply realized during the pandemic. This is the individual work that Sparsh did. Effects of the pandemic on cricket players. And then we have the collaborative artwork that was started by Sparsh, is finished by Laya. And next we have the individual artwork that Laya did, My Dear Friends. Okay, and now we will explore the work of Priyal Binani and Samiksha Mohapatra. I believe they are also not here today due to their examinations. So I will just be going by their work one by one. This is the collaborative artwork started by Priya, titled Technical Monochrome and finished by Samiksha. This is Priyal's individual artwork, Sense Lens. Then we have another collaborative artwork. This was started by Samiksha and finished by Priyal. And then we have Samiksha's completed individual artwork. Then we have the artworks of Sanvi Sharda and Surja Jadhav, who I believe are also not present here today due to their examinations. So this is the collaborative artwork started by Sandhi and finished by Surja, titled Drowning. Next, we have Sandhi's individual artwork titled Amaze, which is a video. Then we have the collaborative artwork started by Surja and finished by Sandhi. And the last artwork of this exhibition is Surja's individual work titled Online Prison. With this, our exhibition comes to an end. Thank you to all the young artists for sharing their process, experiences, and thoughts. It was great to hear from you guys. If there is any artist that we had missed earlier but is now present and they would like to talk about their artwork, please raise your hand. Hi, is there someone?
Yes, ma'am, I would like to speak.
Okay, hi, please introduce yourself and I will go to your artwork.
This is Sharvari.
Hi, Sharvari. Give me 1 second. Your artwork is at the beginning. I'll just move there. Sharvari. So I'll just start.
Yeah, so this was the collaborative art started by my partner. So basically, it shows about the daily life routine of a person, which in during online period revolved around 4 walls, and the room felt like a box. And then there was this offline period where all the walls opened up and the box opened up, and people were free to go out and roam. And then it shows the happiness of coming out from home.
Okay.
The
And
contrast ideas.
then this was, we had explored Abunti's individual work, and we will move on to the next collaborative artwork that you guys have worked together.
So it shows the usual scenario of the online period where most of us were upset, and this girl is shown to be depressed, and her parents been fighting in the background, and then she's shown to be revolve her life revolving around social media and exams and Zoom meetings and all that. And then there's this big comfort buddy at the back comforting her, and it shows self comfort that it was the only way we could survive the online period. And the background is about the windows and balcony, how that it was the only thing which kept us in touch with the reality.
And next, we move on to your individual artwork.
Yeah, so basically the girl is being shown caged, as we all felt during online period. And we can see that she is shown to be really faded because she's losing her existence, and she's crying, and there are butterflies coming out, which shows her social life. She also caged because she cannot meet anyone. And then the above figures are shown the contrast time where she, during the offline period she could meet with her friends and do all those activities which she could not do at her home.
Okay, thank you so much, Sharvari. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Okay, so I guess with this, today's event comes to an end. Debsingha's videos did not work out. Should we give it another try before we end this today? Maybe my internet is slightly better now. Okay, I guess it is not going to work out from my side. If it's working out on Debsingha's computer, if I share the link and you can share the screen if you want.
Already send the link.
Or if you have the video, you can play it, share your screen, both the videos.
All right, I can do that.
Yeah.
Teacher, if you want me to share, you'll have to
I'll stop sharing. Yeah, I'm stopped sharing.
It's opening.
Yeah, sure, take your time.
Teacher, do I start?
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
Yes.
Man, it was pretty bad, not gonna lie.
Oh, you're such a loser.
Okay,
Oh my God.
man, listen, wait. Who's that behind you? I'm not kidding. There's actually someone behind you. What? What?
Thank you so much, Debsingha, for sharing your videos. Anything you would like to say about the videos now?
Okay, teacher. So basically, the second one, I think I could have made it a bit better. But what the intention was to show, like, basically the plot is like this guy thinks that there's somebody in the other person's camera, but it is in fact a reflection on his own screen, which he could not figure out. So that the intention of that was to show that this person who's on the internet for so long, the effect it starts to take is that he sort of can't differentiate the offline from the online anymore. And the first one was quite just overconsumption of information on the internet. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So now we are done with our exhibition. If anyone else has joined in the last 5 minutes, any artist who would like to speak, this is the last call. Okay, so I believe that with this, our session comes to an end. Thank you to everyone. Before I say the ending note, does anybody has any questions for Colin, Karen, Malavika? Please, you can ask anyone, whether it's the students or somebody who's attending. Okay, so no one has any questions.
I
That's
will
great.
say something for the participant. The thing is, it was really challenging for the participant, and they have taken it like Debsingha. He's actually a video artist. He's not a digital artist, but who took the challenge and did. Similarly, there are a lot like Shreya's. She was supposed to work with someone, but due to some problem couldn't. But she have also taken the challenge, and moment managed to do the work with another artist. Similarly, I have shared her first stage of artwork with Divyam, and they also accepted. So I mean, what I want to say first thing is this digital medium is so good. I mean, you can do endless work. That is number one. Number two, I find that the kids are so challenging. I mean, each participants are ready to take the challenge. That I find it very interesting. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you to everyone. And there is a little announcement. So Collaborative Art Space has decided that Colin and Karen are going to pick the 5 best collaborative works. The list will be announced on the website probably by tomorrow, and you will all receive emails for the update. So please do wait for that. We're very excited about it, and we're hoping to carry on with this in the future. On this closing note, I would like to extend a very hearty thank you to everyone to the young artists who have created this wonderful art and for organizing this event, to the schools, teachers, and families for the support, to Malavika for this entire concept of collaborative art space, and to Colin and Karen for giving us their precious time. I know it's a Monday morning and it's probably not the best time to be online, but thank you so much. Would Colin and Karen like to say something? Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'd just like to say really quickly, I really enjoyed the presentations. All the artwork was great. I don't necessarily know that we'd be picking the best. It's like, I'm going to pick my favorites or ones that really resonated with me. One thing that I thought was interesting that I heard one of the students mention was that, how both the online and the offline were of equal importance. And then I think the same student also mentioned, online being a medium in itself, which, I thought was an interesting distinction from talking about digital being a medium, but actual online being a medium. And I feel like even something like this in a live group conversation, can be considered an artwork in the idea of sort of a social sculpture. So I really appreciate the invitation to participate.
Thank you.
And I'd like to say, oops, I gotta get, oh, I have my mic on, great. I'd like to say that I was really stunned by the artwork, its quality, its depth of thought. Last night I was sitting here with all the artworks on my screen and I'm thinking, how can I choose? Because each one was pulling me into the artwork, was giving me a concept, was moving color, shape, form across the page. So to all of you artists, I say again, congratulations, because this is really quite a challenge, as Malavika says, to come into a collaborative experience with another artist. And you brought your level of art up to that challenge and created something very, very special here. So thank you for letting me participate in this and experience your artwork. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I hope everybody had a great time. And I hope to see everyone else today. I know Malavika is already excitedly planning the next part. So yeah, it was lovely to talk to everyone. And really, the artists did a great job, especially with the pressure of education's school reopening. Yeah, it was great work. So thank you to everyone and happy Teachers' Day again. Thank you.